recording. I'll flop this over to video D.
Oh boy!
No, I'll let you do this.
Alright. Well, Link Between Nerds. We're finally gonna play a game that has Link in it.
Woo! Sorry, that was loud.
It's fine. Oh wait, we should probably leave this part out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's gonna hurt anything. If anything, I can just put up like a banner or something.
Of course, Ganondorf would be a fucking red lantern.
You damn right.
Oh, I know. Or would he be a yellow lantern?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because, like, the red and yellow both make sense for him. He is a very angry, scary man.
Yeah, he does want to put the fear into people.
Mm-hmm. And not in a sexy way.
Yeah, we might want to turn this down a little bit.
The Legend of Zelda!
Tears of your ass!
Ah, gross. Fucking see a doctor. Take some Pepto.
Right? I think that's called diarrhea.
Mm-hmm. Legend of Zelda, Tears of Diarrhea. Man, it sure is a long way down to the shitter.
I told you, Zelda. Like, maybe once, twice a night, but this 3 or 4 times thing.
I'm tired of walking. You are an adult woman.
The balloon keeps getting thicker.
Find the outhouse on your own.
I wish my poop would get thicker.
We've been descending for a while now. These tunnels are deeper than I thought.
Just like my machine.
Down here.
The shitter. In case you didn't know, that's the titular Zelda.
Yes.
I do like her design, honestly. Out of all the Zeldas, I think hers is my favorite.
I agree. I like this whole opening sequence because it's... I don't know. It's hard to critically...
Hey, Zelda, have you ever had French toast? Curious. Have you ever had French toast?
He just bugs her the whole way.
Question. Do you know what French is? I've never heard of French.
Yeah, like...
Can we talk?
I keep hearing this thing.
You're not answering my question. Have you had French toast?
Do you know what French is?
What do I have to wait for you? Bitch won't answer my question about French toast, but I gotta let her go first? Or do I need to throw my cape down or whatever? What are we doing?
No, she's just...
Okay.
She's waiting on the cutscene.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's hard for me to, like... Because there's so much I want to say to, like, talk about, like, this opening just in general. Mm-hmm. But it's hard because I'm a fanboy. Mm-hmm. And it feels like anything that I'm going to go off on is just going to be me being like, oh, look at how good this game is, and this is my favorite. But, like, at the same time, like, there's so much of this opening that is...
We do not know what waits below.
That is, like... Are you okay?
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Legend of Zelda. Septic Tank Technicians. But no, I get it. Like, whenever you really like something...
It's hard to be kind of objective about it.
Yeah.
And I think that... Because, like... I kind of wish that we had started this channel, like, 6 years earlier. And
I think we tried, and then reasons.
Right. But... like, I wish we'd have played Breath of the Wild first, just because the openings to both of these games are so almost, like, diametrically opposed. Because the first one is just like, wake up, here's the game, get fucking going.
Yeah.
And this one is much more paced, it's a lot more moody, there's atmosphere happening and being built by this opening, and there's...
I am curious to see where all my fucking hearts go.
Right. And that's another thing. Like, in the last game, the highest amount of hearts you could get was 28. Because they wanted you to be able to get... Because some of the potions and food that you created would give you temporary hearts. Mm-hmm. In this one, you start with all fucking 30. Like... So...
Well, and I mean, but that's the thing, is it's also a case of, like, any... It's like any multi-part series.
Right.
When you come out with that second book, if they're doing it right, then it will do better at elaborating on and expanding upon what happened in the first one. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about Breath of the Wild. It was new. It was really testing the grounds for what Zelda could become.
Right.
And once they saw how much people loved it, and they had that base of information at that point. Whenever this game came out, like, and I saw the systems and stuff they're putting in play, I was like, oh, they're getting it. Like, and Nintendo's good at that. Nintendo's always been pretty good at that particular. Like, that's why fucking Mario is still good. It's because every time they put out a new one, they find a new innovative way to include new things without removing the old shit. Because there are still, there's certain things you can't do in this one that you could do in Breath of the Wild, but there's context and story reasons as to why those things may not be possible.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I just wanted to warn Link that apparently there are orcs or Urukai around somewhere.
What are you talking about? This isn't the Master Sword, this is Sting. Haven't you noticed I'm a fucking hobbit?
Well, I mean, you say that. He's like you can tell right there he's shorter than Zelda, so...
He is a tiny fellow.
He's a short man. He is a short king, and we should all appreciate him.
I mean, he fucking kicks ass for the Lord.
Indeed.
One of my friends sent me a picture, speaking of hobbits, and it's apparently they're making a Golem video game.
Yes.
But it's a screen cap, and I don't know if it's real or not, but it's like Golem, clearly in like like the way that the character looks is clearly like an in development picture, but it's him talking to what looks like an Urukai, but the camera's like behind the Urukai, so you see Golem's face, he's like crouched down, like clearly in fear, and it says like, hold on, let me pull the photo up, I'll just show you the photo, because it's...
Might as well send it to me too, so I can put it
up. Yeah,
I'll
send it to you.
Okay.
Hold on, he sent it to me. I gotta show it. This just reminded me of that while I'm thinking of it. But it's just like him looking at fear, and it says beg, threaten, and then give head. And it's just like, this is gonna be a very different Lord of the Rings experience.
Give head, says master.
It's just like...
You leave us alone?
Well, what's... He asked me about that, so I Googled it. But the first thing that came up was someone editing the scene from The Hobbit where Gollum and Bilbo are like having their witty repartee, but edited it to make it seem like they were just sucking each other off in the cave. And he was like, that's not what I was talking about at all. I was like, well, people are into it, apparently.
Right. Well, I mean...
and I was like, fucking, it's nice to know Gollum made his way across Mordor how most people make it across Europe in their college years.
Right. Well, I mean, like, it's kind of like the internet brought about Rule 34, but I think Rule 34 has kind of been a thing. Any sufficiently popular thing will have people lusting over it.
Like, oh yeah, absolutely. Like people like feet, and that shit's disgusting.
I would agree. Not a big feet guy myself.
Too tired to do certain actions until it fills up again.
That is the one thing.
That is the single oldest pineapple I've ever seen in my life.
Everyone calls them pineapples. I haven't met a single person yet that's been like, those are something else.
Oh, they could be artichokes.
They're supposed to be eggs.
Oh, no.
Like dragon's eggs.
Those are 100% artichokes.
Or at least that's what I interpret them as. They look a lot like the dragon eggs from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the Hylians. Wait, something's right in here. Might these runes be from the Zonai?
Bum bum bum!
You can't have a reveal for something we don't understand.
I mean, yeah, kinda. Because I mean, like, if you played the first game and you didn't watch any of the shit that led up to this game and then just played it, there's a possibility you could have no clue who the fucking Zonai are. Because the Zonai were such a little part of Breath of the Wild, they were just kind of background noise.
Well, you said they don't come up unless you do the DLC, right?
Well, I mean, there's some parts of the DLC that get a little more into it.
Zelda, you fucking tourist.
But it...
I like that she's supposed to be taking photos, but it's just like the fucking base map
background
for the Sheikah Slate.
It just got the little Sheikah eye on it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got the front-facing camera on. I got to switch it around.
Damn it.
This legend, they possess godlike powers.
I'm gonna steal a joke that Jack pointed out, but this actually kind of looks like the hall where all the statues are in Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I was also gonna say that looks like the foot to the Megazord. Like this is actually the hall of the Power Rangers.
Yes, yes. Link is the very first Power Ranger. I can buy it.
He's all of them in one. You know what? Actually, I don't really. You know what? I don't need to shit. So I'm just gonna go. I'm
Right?
gonna
I'm gonna
go.
we're going back up above.
Bye, Zelda.
Bye. You walk out the door, and it was like, and you never found Ganondorf. Game over.
Game over. Yeah.
Good on you. You're the first
Such
white
large
people to
ears.
not explore the spooky cave.
Woo! I mean, that is the premise. Like we were talking, because, like I said, I had never had the opportunity to play all the way through Ocarina of Time, so I wasn't aware that at the end, because I've said this before, like all they had to do was not get the gems. They never got the gems. Ganon doesn't get in. It's never a problem.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that at the end they send you back in time so you can warn Zelda and the king. And to be like, Ganon's an asshole. Don't open the things, and we'll be fine. And then Link's like, yeah, I get to be a boy.
Yay! I can be a child again. But then again,
God, imagine if that's how puberty worked. You just like walked into a fucking. I mean, for the Jews,
and you just aged 7
well, I was
years.
gonna say for the Jews it does.
What?
The whole bar mitzvah thing. Yeah.
Okay. Culturally, I thought
Yes.
you meant like physically. They just one moment
Jews-
I'm 7,
they
the
start
next
reading-
I'm 13.
The Jews start reading the Torah. They age 6 years. To be fair, with some of the shit that they face, it's not surprising that they do age rapidly. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking Keese.
I love that they're conveniently at sword height.
Right. I feel like somebody on the Zelda team between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild, and again Tears of the Kingdom, like watched Sequelitis a lot. And they were just like, we could make this better.
Look at these murals.
I always think it's funny, the idea, like clearly they're depicting a horrible event, an atrocity occurring, right? But this requires that someone had to stop helping fight that atrocity in order to put this on a fucking wall.
Yeah. I had always interpreted it as like these were the people that survived the war, like putting down a retelling of it.
I liked the idea better that they were actively doing it while they're being murdered.
Oh shit, they're at the door, finish the carving!
Like fucking Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And he's like, it's the monster. And it's like, no, it's more like, maybe it's like,
These figures look like Hylians.
Okay, so basically we're finding out there was
That the
Zonai.
Zonai descended from the heavens.
Okay.
Yep. There's an old race called the Zonai. Apparently they came from the sky. We've unearthed ancient aliens.
Fuck!
Next,
Go
they're going
back,
to tell
go
us how
back.
they built the pyramids, but only in Egypt. Like, all the other pyramids.
No, fuck those. Those don't exist. We're only gonna
Mexicans
talk...
definitely built their own pyramids. The Egyptians needed help.
Yes, exactly. That is like the weirdest, like, historical racism.
Isn't it?
We know that the ancient Aztec were totally capable of building the pyramids. Those ones are wider, so like we can totally they're not nearly as pointed and narrow. So we know they can do it. Ah, mute your phones.
Yep.
Stealing something of incredible power from the
Oh
young
no,
kingdom.
he's stealing her virginity.
Oh no.
This all aligns with what I've read during my studies.
How?
And then this. It shows the Demon King
Getting crunk.
and a fierce battle against him.
It's just, you just see it
They
like
played 12 hours of DDR.
it just shows him like tossing something in his mouth, and it's a little pill, and it's carved in it PCP.
Them got horns. Them all got horns.
Oh, this looks like fucking dangerous, man.
This mural must be the Great War recorded in the royal histories.
The imprisoning war of 10,000 years ago.
This is how I feel about.
That led up to it. This is a huge discovery.
Aw, she's so cute.
She is fucking excited, and
Yeah,
I'm
she
here
is.
for it.
All right then. Now
But no, I was gonna say, this reminds me of like, did you ever play Dragon Age Inquisition?
A little bit of it.
So the big bad for Dragon Age Inquisition is kind of the same scenario where it is a person, an enemy, a person you would not have ever encountered in the main game from 2 if you didn't do the DLC.
Oh, interesting.
So the game expects you to have done the DLC, and understand, like, oh, look who it is. It's the big bad that you almost failed to kill. And it's like, because I never played the DLC for 2, so I just played Inquisition. I was like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is and why it's important.
Right. See, like, that's the thing, is, like, the Zonai weren't even, like, a huge part of the DLC or anything. It was just, it was like, I'm trying to think of an analogy for it, but I'm having trouble. It would be like if they did Wind Waker, right? Mm-hmm. And they explain away the fact that the Zonai aren't in the game because they evolved into the Rito, mm-hmm. but then they did a sequel to the Wind Waker with the Rito come back. Because, like, they are only mentioned in passing in the story and in a few item descriptions. And they're not even really focused on in the DLC. It's just there's a couple of more things in the DLC that are like, oh, this might have been a Zonai thing. And then when this game comes out, they're just like, Zonai are the main fucking focus, man. Like, they are everything to this game. And I don't know if it's because... if you would like, you can change that to where B is the jump button, but then that makes X your running and your dodging and that kind of stuff, so...
No, I'm fine with it.
It just seems like such an out of left field thing to...
We really gotta get to this septic tank. It's bleeding to the ground, man.
Oh, God. And it's red. Zelda, you should check your stool. It's not supposed to be red like that, man.
What the fuck was Ganon feeding you?
For the last 100 years.
I survived on light?
When you become a ball of light and you just kind of like hold an entity at bay forever, you know...
Your stool doesn't really come out right. I had to take a lot of softeners. Oh, this music's getting intense.
Yeah, it is. The piano is going mad. Birdie.
Whoa.
Bless you.
Sorry.
What is this place?
The septic tank of legend.
That is the master tank.
Turns out Zelda's the real plumber.
Must be extremely careful. Nah, how about we
okay.
leave? I just remembered I had a thing to do in Akala.
What is that?
No, none of this is right.
Oh, dude, dibs on the jerky. Oh, that's not jerky. That's a person.
It's like fucking Futurama whenever he's like, I can't find my mummified, like it was his mummified Emperor Venus.
Oh, yeah.
And like it cuts to Fry eating it. He's like, Fry, how could you? I was gonna eat that. Oh, shit.
Memento.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit, his heart done beat it.
Oh, yeah! Can't come stop, but it never stops. Oh, man, I'm so thirsty.
Oh, God. He's giving me his
shit.
bladder infection.
This is why you're supposed to treat your septic tank, ladies and gentlemen. It will get revenge on you. Oh,
no.
Shit.
Damn. How dare you make me bleed my own blood?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The blade that shatters so easily against my power cannot save you from me.
I'm gonna make you play so much Scrabble.
You who carries that fragile sword, a link.
How'd you know my name?
Raru placed his faith in you. And that was all you could do.
Is he a vampire?
Do you
Zombie, kind
know
of.
our names?
Well, it kind of reminds me... Like, the way he looks reminds me of kind of like BTM, like when vampires play Torpor.
Oh, yeah, I can get that.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't played BTM, in Vampire the Masquerade in that world, instead of like a vampire dying when it gets staked, it goes into what's called torpor, which is basically like what Ganon was in.
Like hibernation, kind of.
Yeah. But it's like horrible. Like you're constantly having horrible, terrible nightmares. Son of a bitch, Ganon's pulling a Bowser!
Yeah, he is. Stealing the castle.
You fuck! My shit will stink up the whole kingdom!
That's what the Tears of the Kingdom are. It's just people holding back, choking this
Ugh.
miasma.
Like you can't talk to anybody because they're all fucking gagging.
Oh god, my arm! Oh god, your arm! Yeah, the rest of you.
So let's be real here. If Link was actually good at saving Zelda, it wouldn't have to take him fucking adventuring and shit constantly in order to save her ass.
That's fair.
Fuck, she turned the light again.
God damn it! Wait,
Oh?
hand? Whee!
Did you ever play the game God Hand?
I did.
Because I assume that's what's about to happen.
Kinda.
Because my fucked up arm is about to become that arm.
God, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, what?
Just stand around, shit's falling out of the sky, other shit's going into the sky.
Chicken Little was right.
Yep.
Alright, game, you got me. I am intrigued. I mean, I was already going to put money
It's a really long black screen game.
It's loading.
I don't care.
Look, I don't like looking at myself as much as the next person, but it will get there eventually. Self-reflection never has to last that long. Ah, gross. Ganon had worms.
Ooh, and glowy.
You know, I don't want to talk shit on Link, but you know who could have handled this? Dante from Devil May Cry. He would have showed up, talked some mad shit, and then decapitated Ganon in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it'd have been like Thor during Endgame.
Ah, Link.
Right for the head.
What the fuck, Link, man? You're better than this. Why are you walking around with tribal tattoos?
Your hair's all long.
You fucking beach bum. Sick nails, though.
I was gonna say, grow out his nails on one hand. That's kind of weird.
That's his coke hand.
Not just a coke nail, a whole hand.
The whole hand.
Finally awake.
Oh, it's a dude voice this time.
Right?
Is my hand talking to me?
Kinda.
I've heard a great deal about you from Zelda.
You know Zelda?
Is she still light?
Are you still boinking her?
Gross.
Your wounds were severe. I am relieved to see you escape death.
Couldn't do anything about that tribal tattoo, sorry.
Your honor was
Laser tattoo removal is only so advanced in our civilization. Okay, so somebody who knows Zelda.
Oh god, my sword!
That's the crusty sword. Oh, that would have been cool if they like kept that angle and then you had to like walk towards the camera to get to the Master Sword.
That would have been cool.
That would have been very interesting.
Very cinematic.
Mm-hmm. Man, Link's got fucking crazy posture. Look how far back his shoulders set.
That dude is set right.
What is that? Fucking
Homo erectus. Ain't got no ass though.
No ass.
Poor Link, no butt.
I think it's because he shoves his pelvis too far forward.
That might be it.
Because like, look how his body. I don't know. It just look. I don't know if that's like actually good posture. Because it looks like he shoves his pelvis too far forward.
Possibly.
Man. I will say this is the first time I've seen the Master Sword fail against Ganon. But then again, if I'm understanding what just happened correctly, that's the first time we fought the actual Ganon.
Kinda, yeah.
Decayed Master Sword. Has been diminished. That's putting it lightly.
Right. It's like a third the sword it was. But you better believe it's gonna know how to knock some roots about.
Game, you already told me how to attack. You had me fight bats.
I did a spin attack.
This feels very Dark Souls starting.
Kinda, yeah.
Because I have a broken sword. I woke up in a fucking dungeon.
You're naked.
And I'm not afraid, though.
No.
I like the sound design of his feet slapping against the stone.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Ooh.
He leaves little footprints in the sand.
Hold on. Listen to the sound design from his feet going from the different materials.
Well, that is cool.
Like, it's not abnormal anymore.
But it is one of those things that just makes you stand back and go, huh, video games, huh?
Well, it's the fact that they had to do the Foley for all that.
Yeah.
And then they had to program into the game, like, the game has to recognize when his feet switch.
Like between concrete and sand and, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
Because I've played plenty of games, though, that don't do that. Where, like, you're walking on, like, brick, right? And then your character switches to dirt, and then it sounds the same. Mm-hmm. And it's like... I'm not going to, like, say, well, it's easy to do that. I don't know how easy or difficult it is to do any of the programming in video games.
You were so wet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's hot.
I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but, like, sometimes in this game, just during cutscenes, Link just drips water.
I like how it all comes off of his elbows and his forearms.
Right.
The rest of him dries quickly. It's either that or he's, like, flop sweat hard.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, no, maybe it's just you are the most... all the water in the fucking room is condensing on you because you're the coldest thing in the room.
Why does that look like I should be able to use those to get across?
I wonder. I will tell you now you can't do it. Right at this moment.
Oh, okay.
You will come back here.
Oh, excuse me. So, I've been playing... Oh, there's two. They're fucking legs of the Megazord.
Great.
So I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact.
Mm-hmm.
And Genshin Impact is basically like Chinese Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And one of the things... okay.
They just wanted to show you the diving animation they came up with.
But one of the things is, like, because it is Chinese Breath of the Wild, there's a climbing mechanic.
Right.
So, in this game, because remind me if I'm correct, when you walk up to a wall that you can climb, he doesn't just instantly climb it, right? Like, you have to, like, jump into it.
For the most part, yeah. Like, some of them, if you just run headlong into a wall, eventually he'll start climbing it.
But you have to, like, put that into it. You don't just, like, approach it. You know,
and he just clings to it as soon as you're near it, yeah.
So that's how it works in Genshin Impact. And I have died because I've been, like, fighting something, and then, like, the camera angle was weird. And my character just, like, fucking Spider-Mans to the wall. And then I like, panic, of course. So I start hitting all the wrong buttons to get off the wall, and then I'm dead.
That sucks. This is another thing I like about this intro. So, okay. So you dove off that little thing. Barely seemed necessary for you to have, like, the little jump prompt. And then they do another one that's a little bit higher.
And then it's Olympic style?
Yeah. So it's like, you're going to have to get used to the idea of jumping off some tall shit.
Hacky, your phone!
I thought I did.
Ah! Even Great Eye will prevent you from taking fall damage. We learned from Minecraft.
Yeah, we did. Also, in the previous game, whenever you were in the water, you drained stamina. In this one, it only drains stamina when you're moving, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not moving, I could tread water for a really long time.
Yeah, I mean, that takes the least amount of energy. Select equip. Yay, I have a skirt on.
Yeah, you do. That's a nice looking skirt.
Look, ready to femboy up.
Ready to go out there. I mean, and with those sandals, you could blend in with the Romans.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do and
skip gaily.
Sleep with other men.
That too.
Whoa. Okay, game. This is...
Oh god, sun's bright.
Way up here. Damn. Ooh, is that the Death Star?
Yes.
It's dope.
It's the Death Star of David.
Fuck the police! Oh, I can't control it. I was gonna go for that water over there, but the game said no.
Nope, this is title screen. Dragon!
Everyone's been freaking out about the saxophone in this song.
Why are they expecting Careless Whispers? Like
I don't know. It's just been people have been like seeing videos about the saxophone.
Never wanna dance
I feel
again.
Like don't get copyrighted.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Link might have some kind of like mental incapability of being afraid.
That's possible. Like he just doesn't have the wiring for it.
Because like he's literally just like looking around. He's looking around in the same way I would when I walk into a bathroom at a grocery store.
Right? Like what? Yeah.
Like, all right. I mean, this looks good.
And swing. Dead.
But didn't even drop a hammer first. Hey, more artichokes. This
These ones
game
glow, though.
is gorgeous. Damn. Just this little spot is fucking pretty.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of why I'm excited for like a Switch 2, because like if they can do this with like a system that only runs like 900p,
yeah. So I was talking to Sammy about that,
yeah,
and I was like, I'm surprised they didn't like figure out a way to put more tech like in the dock.
I'm surprised too on that. Yeah,
Because like I think one of the, like I understand having the whole handheld aspect, and that's nice. But it would be cool if I could like come home and like when I put the Switch in the dock, it has like an extra processor and everything in it, so that I can play hardier games on it.
And that's all it would really need is like an extra processor and maybe like a GPU in it. And you could make the dock to where it would expand the Switch out to where you could run like full 1080p, 60 frames a second on a game like this.
And you could fit it all in that little dock.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
That's a Zonai construct.
I got a tree branch. I like how a tree branch does more damage. Wrong button. I hit the wrong button. That ought to learn you, you fucking pot. Zonai charge. Soldier construct horn. Pick up some more sticks. This just reminds me of like early in Ocarina of Time when you use the Deku sticks.
Oh yeah.
Because it does as much damage as the fucking Master Sword.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that?
That's a wooden stick.
This one has purpose. Can I take these flowers? No. Okay.
That I think it's kind of cool that like on the surface everything's kind of green.
Yeah.
And you don't ever really see like a change in like seasons or anything, but up here everything's kind of very autumnal and orange and
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I want to know why this little symbol on the front of him looks like a broom.
Kind of. Oh, this doesn't look friendly.
Hello, Froggy Man.
These remind me of like those the statues from like A Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Link, I have waited to hear you. Princess Zelda left something for you in my care. It's just a gun.
Please,
This is the
take
pearl
this Smith & Wesson 45.
Ganon won't know what hit him. I am told it's an invaluable tool that will provide you with direction.
Looks like the Nintendo Switch. Yes.
Immediately
Holding it wrong.
puts it fucking under his junk and takes a picture.
He's like, It looks so much bigger from this angle.
Gotta make sure everything's all put together down there, you know what I mean? I want to make sure they didn't just replace my hand. Prize device. It has a variety of features that are so what happened to the Sheikah slate?
My assumption is that Pura, or however you say her name,
Yeah.
made her own to like upgrade
My
it.
message has been delivered. Where am I? We stand in the Garden of Time. Ooh.
Yes. That over there is the Temple of Time.
Nah, I don't remember it looking like that.
And I don't either.
Using this to pass, many rites and ceremonies of the kingdom were held there. So, if I'm understanding how the timeline is supposed to work, this is technically the most recent version of Link and Zelda.
Right. This
Okay.
is the very end of the timeline as it's been established so far.
Find Princess Zelda. I'll look over here real quick.
This is one of those games where exploring can be advantageous. So it never hurts to go looking.
I thought that said shy shroom.
Yes. Just like the shy guys, these shrooms are very
They
shy.
I'm also a shy shroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I get nervous.
My
I
shroom
get
doesn't like to come out of its hidey hole. I'm just saying the water's been cold.
We're not in water. Every time Link does that, For some reason, I just picture him like threatening somebody.
Like, hey!
Like, hey, give me the fucking clothes.
That was rad.
How do I put it away without throwing?
Hit B.
Okay.
If you hit B, he'll put it down.
Sorry, bud. I wasn't actually gonna hurt you. Promise.
I'm sorry, Stewart.
Yes. Goodbye. Alright, let's go see what this is about.
Hand. Oh god.
Couldn't just... Alright, I feel like that's the hardest way you could have made that bridge, but okay.
Hey man, sometimes just doing stuff for aesthetic's sake.
I mean, but that seems to be what always happens with any ancient advanced civilization, is they always end up just doing stuff because it looks cool.
I mean, it's a lot of what we do in our modern time.
Fair. Fuck you.
Danger! What? Oh, it's just a blonde twink.
Hello, you seem to be new here. The Femboy Parade is down below. Solid construct. Strict orders to protect this land. The zone I created strict.
We must protect this house!
You must treat them as serious threats. Allow me to. I like how it knows the advice is unsolicited.
Like, look, I don't know you. I know you don't want to hear this. I'm telling you anyway.
So here's the problem. I could pick up pots, and if I could target you,
I can throw pots
I
at
could
you.
throw them. What?
He's a robot.
I'm gonna hit him with a fucking pot.
Got eyes in the back of his head. Maybe quite literally.
Oh, wrong button. No, it went phase through his head.
It did. You were not allowed to attack him.
That's disappointing. Rather disappointing. There's no fucking nothing there. Okay. I think this is the most amount of time I've spent with Link without a shirt on.
Right? I was kind of confused about that too when I first started this game, because when you start Breath of the Wild, it's like, here's a shirt and some pants. And you start this one, and it's like, you run around for a little bit, here's a skirt.
Oh, did I get hit? When did I get hit?
Banner. Probably when you were fighting that construct.
Fuck you. Hey, fuck you. Hold on. Give me a second.
Fuck you.
Yeah, eat stick, biatch.
It's weird, because I've played so much of this already, I keep wanting to tell you how to do things, but you don't have the things.
I can't do them.
Right.
Yet. Yeah.
It's a bird. Birdie. Birdie.
Link, fucking, come on, man.
Right?
You're better than that. Alright, people are watching. I should probably move towards the important places instead of digging around. I have to fight my instinct to just dig around. Because I really do, like, this world is very inviting. I want to explore it.
I agree. Like, and there's so much of this that's kind of new.
Yeah. The fucker.
Yeah, like ostriches or chocobos.
What the fuck?
I like how I decided to first give a real life example,
And then the fake one. Gotcha,
Oh,
bitch!
God.
That's not what I thought was going to come out of you.
Yeah, I kind of thought you'd get like a drumstick or a whole bird.
Don't leave orphans. Fuck. Come here. Come here. This is content. What?
Oh god!
It didn't die. Alright, hold on. Gotcha,
There you
bitch.
go.
Blech.
Oh, two raw meats.
Princess Zelda, you did not tell me that he would immediately start killing the native inhabitants of this land.
Those animals have been alive on these sky islands for thousands of years.
And he just murdered them with sticks! You didn't tell me your bodyguard was but a caveman. Alright, give me one. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Fine. Fine. Yeah. More stick. I don't need to kill you guys. I already got some meat. Shit doesn't spoil in this game, right?
Nope.
It's okay, because it's been a while since I played
Breath.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So I won't remember. Alright, let's go fist fight the robots.
Hello, friend. Ow. Poked you. What is good poker? Nice job.
I'm remembering. I like how they're supposed to protect this island, but they're just using sticks.
Right. Well, I mean, they've been up here thousands of years, assumably. Assumed? Something like that.
Presumably.
There you go. It's possible that they just don't have any other weapons anymore.
Gotcha, fucker. What'd you drop?
Construct horns.
You want to know how video games don't inspire violence?
How's that?
Because never once have I read a story where somebody kills somebody expecting to get item drops.
I mean, it's fair. Although, I do like the insult, your boyfriend looks like he drops common loot.
Oh. That is mean. Toasty sky shroom.
Bye!
I roast that! But George want it. You roast them? Oh, I had noticed that before. Familiar to me. My apologies. He like points at a shroom. He's like, "Hey, you look like a fucking carrot!" And the shroom just like.
You're the weakest carrot I have seen.
I bet if I ate you, it would do nothing for my eyes. Okay, yes, use the fire. I do have meat and some shrooms.
Cook some shit, yo.
Oh, you press it to...
Yeah. Extra decrease, 8 increase. And poof.
Come on.
There it goes.
That's great. Let me pick up the other ones before they all burn.
They won't burn in this one. The only time something burns and then like disappears is if it's not food. Like if it's an elixir ingredient or something like that.
Or bodies.
That too.
No, that one didn't make it. Baked apple. That's not baked. Baking implies a very specific set of circumstances.
That is fire roasted apple.
That apple isn't high at all. It barely hit the dang kush.
I want to make a Frankenstein knockoff called Dankenstein.
Dinkenstein.
It's just a dude that's like hydroponically and crossbreeding a bunch of things to make the ultimate weed.
When you drink it, fuck.
Well, that's how ultimate it is. It's a liquid plant.
If you have to like,
It's
like what was that? I can't remember what issue or book or whatever I read where it was like a thing you could take that would like allow you to. It's like a highly oxygenated liquid.
Oh yeah,
so you
yeah,
can
yeah.
breathe it in.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it just sits in your lungs and you just constantly.
God, what
fucking
is that?
baked.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I know it's been in like several different kinds of sci-fi and stuff.
Because like I know that movie The Abyss used it, but that's not like the thing you're talking about is a very specific reference, and I know what you're talking about. God, I can't remember what it was, bro.
Because I was about to reference Futurama, but I was like, no, because that was a pill,
right?
Like the size of my fist. I can't swallow that. Good news, it's a suppository. Okay, X is the jump. There we go. Okay, we're good. Ah, shit.
Temple of Time. How it's never looked before. That will act like a spear, by the way. I enjoy that, like, they never refer to them as robots. They're always, referred to as constructs.
You dropped your shit.
But they do make, like, very, like, kind of
where
Star
did Shield
Wars.
go?
Where did it go?
Are you throwing rocks at me?
He is.
You fuck, where did your shield go? Wrong button.
They do make very, like, kind of Star Wars robot noises.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that shield's cool looking. I want one. Like in real life. I've already got a Master Sword. Technically, I have two of them.
You really shouldn't explain to people what you call your dick.
That is equally awkward. Right after I just said I had two of them.
I got the Master Sword, and then I got the Master Sword. Fuck, what were we talking about last night? I'll have to remember what it makes sense in context to what we're talking about now, and the moment I remember it, I'll fucking bring it up again.
Okay.
But I can't remember what exactly the phrasing was. I will say something that Zelda has always done a good job of is keeping things different yet familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Well, like, one thing, like, I don't think this cutscene has any importance to it. Oh, no, wait, yeah, this is where Rauru comes out, and he's all like, hey, you can't open that door yet because you're too corrupted.
The door will open only to those with sufficient power.
By the way, that's Rauru.
I'm sorry. I did not intend to startle you.
I meant to make you shit yourself.
It was I that spoke to you earlier. That arm originally belonged to me.
Weird.
I am Rauru.
I am a code person.
I was like, yeah, he does look very goaty. Source of the right arm. That's almost as bad as in the fucking Final Fantasy XII strategy guide. Vaughn and Penelo. Like, Vaughn, it says an aspiring sky pirate, and then for Penelo's description, it just says Vaughn's friend.
Oh.
That's all she is. Yeah.
In any case, that arm should allow you to open its door.
God, dude's got hair for days.
Oh, it's fantastic. Imagine how comfy he sleeps all the time. Do you think they have to shear themselves, or then their wool gets too matted?
Oh, that's possible, yeah. Or it's like, have you ever had really long hair and you fall asleep on it and it gives you a headache?
Yeah,
Why not visit the shrine?
I just pictured somebody trying to shear him like an actual sheep. So he's like bent over and his head's between their legs, and he's just like, they're just like going to town, like trying to shear all that off.
He's just like, I could sit in a chair. You could, like...
Nope, this is how our ancestors did it, you little bastard. This is what you get for hiding in that cave. Zonai wool makes the best sweaters.
But like you were saying before, how everything is different but feels very samey or similar or familiar. Like when Ganondorf at the very beginning of this, during the opening cutscene, when he says, "You are what Rauru, or you are the people Rauru left his faith in."
Yeah.
In Ocarina of Time, the Sage of Light that you meet, who is obviously a spirit, his name is Rauru. Though he doesn't look anything like this, he just looks like a Hylian. And in Ocarina of Time, they talk about
climb down.
It is very assumed
nice, an arrow.
that the imprisoning war that is talked about in A Link to the Past is what happens in Ocarina of Time. But they took that and they were like, okay, we're going to take the Imprisoning War and this Rauru character from Ocarina of Time, and we're going to say that the Imprisoning War actually happened way before. You know, like they're taking parts of the lore.
Well,
and wouldn't
that also insinuate to a certain degree that means the reason why Ganon keeps coming back is because he's imprisoned under Hyrule Castle this whole time?
Kinda, yeah. But at the same time, so that's the thing, right? Is the story of this game is kind of challenging a lot of the canon that has happened before this.
Yeah.
Because originally, Ganondorf, as he is, like...
Or Ganondorf, as I like to call him.
Yeah. Ganondorf was not in the timeline until Ocarina of Time. Okay. Before that, all of the enemies that Link fought, like in a chronological sense, were...
What's the parry button?
While you're holding your shield up, hit A.
Okay, yeah. Let's see if I can parry some arrows. Continue talking.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch. We're not ready for that.
What was I saying?
Ganon didn't exist in the timeline.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. So all of the other games had a different villain, whether it was Vati or Auroch or Oryx or Aurochs or whatever his name was.
So wait, who are you fighting in A Link to the Past? I thought that was Ganon.
But A Link to the Past isn't the beginning of the chronology. So the beginning of the timeline starts with Skyward Sword.
Okay.
Then it goes Minish Cap, Four Swords Adventures, Ocarina of Time.
Oh, okay. Who the fuck just hit a gong? What the shit?
Oh, that was weird.
What was that?
I think that might be something above you.
Well, let's go find out. Climb, you dumb bitch. So anyway, continue what you're saying.
And then Ocarina of Time happens, and Ganondorf becomes
This place is junk.
what do you call it? Kind of becomes like the avatar of the Spirit of Demise, whereas beforehand he would just pick anybody that happened to be there. And then Ocarina of Time happens, Ganondorf...
Wait, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing?
You were supposed to go toward that shrine it showed you.
Oh, the one that's over there.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the marker was still over there. That's why I was confused.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. I don't know if...
Let's get these nut thins out of the way.
I don't know if this bothers you or not, but it bothered me, and then I realized it was something you could change. If you don't like the fact that your mini-map keeps changing orientation when you turn, you can change it to where it always faces north.
I like that, honestly. It helps me keep track of where I am.
See, because that fucks me up. Because like the other night when I was over at your place when I first started playing, that fucks me. I need my map to always be oriented north, otherwise I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
So what I always do is, like, because typically in these games you're picking a location, is usually I find where the location is and then just rotate my map towards it and then go that way.
I see.
Now, if it was literally me trying to navigate without that, then yes, I would 100% have it set to always facing north.
Gotcha.
What's going on over here?
Zoda Church.
Oh, it looks sad.
It does.
So the question is, though, is why does Demise think a pig demon is like the go-to for its physical form?
Man, that's a good question. Like I always just assumed like that. Like I never had a lore explanation for why pig was the big bad. But like yeah, it is kind of weird that they were just like, yeah, he's a pig man. All his followers are pig kind of things.
Mm-hmm. So then, given that context, that means that technically Ganon isn't the villain, Demise is then, right?
Correct, yeah. And that's one of the things that I've always kind of wanted from this series, ever since like that was like made apparent that was a thing.
Yeah.
I've wanted a Ganondorf redemption arc. I've wanted to see him break the cycle from Demise, and see him get a redemption, because those are always kind of my favorite stories in fiction, is to see the villain get a redemption. Because, I don't know, there's always been a thing in me that's thought not everybody is bad. There is no such thing as pure evil. Like, everybody has goodness in them. They just have to have it shown to them, or they have to let it shine. Like,
so, here's the thing. I'm not going to say it's not the issue I have with redemption arcs. It's, and this is a very human thing, is that it's only a redemption arc from your perspective.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Right? So, unless Ganon specifically, because unless he says at some point specifically, like, he knows what he's doing is evil, he knows what he's doing is considered wrong, he is fully aware of the horrible things that atrocities he's committing. Typically, if a villain is written well, they are able to reconcile the ideals that have brought them to the position they're in, and unless the redemption is in effect them realizing, like, ultimately deciding that this outside factor, that they can do something to change it, and it's not them what's the word I'm looking for, going against their nature or principles in order to join the other side, I'm okay with that. Like, the reason why I like Prince Zuko's redemption arc is that Prince Zuko was never a bad person.
No, he was following orders.
Yeah, he was following orders. He was trying to gain the love of a father who was never going to give it to him.
And that's why Uncle Iroh is important in that series, too, because he becomes that father figure.
Exactly.
And he tries to guide Zuko on a path that's not his father's.
Yeah, and which he succeeds in doing, and inevitably Zuko learns that what he needs to actually do is stop his father. And understands now that the love of he has the love of a father, and that love of a parent figure does not mean it has to be your biological.
Right.
Like, the messages in that show are so fucking good. What I don't like is whenever it's like a villain who has been a villain the whole time and then just switches sides for no reason.
I can understand that.
Like, if I'm ever playing a game, and unless, like, Metal Gear Solid's a great example of that. Like, there's so many times whenever it's like, why the fuck did that person do what they did? And it turns out they're like a triple agent or some shit. Like, I'm fine with that. To me, that's poor writing. Is whenever you just like, well, I don't want this person to be evil the whole time, so I'm just going to now make them good. Restore an ability, your right arm has lost. Now then extend your hand. I'm going to show you how to shake hands like a real man. This is how you get job interviews, dog. And I mean, I would be interested to see Ganon get a redemption arc, but like, that would also require, and I'm assuming they're doing this in this game, like, giving us actual lore and background on Ganon besides the fact that he is just the big bad.
And I will say so far that
Ultra Hand.
I haven't run into any of that in the game yet. Because this game kind of tells two different stories. It tells you the story of what you're doing to help, like, ready Hyrule for the fight against Ganon. And it also is telling you the story of what is happening with Zelda wherever she disappeared to. But like, I haven't seen anything that actually talks about Ganondorf or Ganon, like, in the cutscenes or anything yet. But I will say this, like, even though I've told everybody on the planet that my favorite game in the Zelda franchise is Majora's Mask, my favorite interpretation of Ganon or Ganondorf or anything like that is Wind Waker. Because in Wind Waker, Ganondorf is presented as a sympathetic villain.
Whoops.
And the way they do that is by making him just like, look, I had a real shit time. My people lived in the desert where there were no resources.
Yeah.
I tried to come to your king amicably to try to barter a peace and, like, maybe get my people to stop being known as the thieves of your world.
Yeah.
And just, be part of your culture. And in doing so, you waged a war against my people that caused the gods to literally rain down vengeance from on high and flood the world.
Yeah.
You guys tore me apart because I wanted freedom.
Yeah.
Like, and it's such...
And that's also just such a real idea, because people do that.
Right.
People, and that's the thing that a lot of problems, a lot of the most heroic thing I think a person can do, and I don't mean that, and when I say this, I don't mean like in a way of like ending their life for it, but like sacrificing something for what is actually the greater good. Having the ability to recognize that maybe what you're like, it's also an ability of self-reflection. And if you have no ability for self-reflection, you have no ability to sacrifice. So then you lack the capability of making any real change to you, yourself, or any of the things around you.
Yeah.
And that's what that exemplifies. Is it was literally a man trying to help his people, but the fucking Hylians couldn't pull their heads out of their asses long enough to look beyond what the stereotype was of his people, and literally ruin the entire world simply because they couldn't be bothered to try and be better. And that's the thing I think that scares a lot of people in real life, is the idea of like being, maybe the person you are is not the best version of who you can be.
Right.
And it's a scary concept for a lot of people. I know, like, I have faced that idea every all the time as a father. Like, is this the best version of me that I should be representing to my child?
Right.
And I mean, me being, and I'm not even saying I'm a bad father, but me being like not the best version of me I can be isn't going to end the world. But I feel like if you are in a position where it possibly could, you should probably have the ability for self-reflection. Fuck, I have terrible depth perception.
It's okay.
The ability for self-reflection to understand that maybe your ideals are wrong. And not even so necessarily wrong, as you didn't know.
Right.
And I think that's a big problem with why we have a lot of the political and fundamental problems that we have in this country, is that people can't understand that maybe they just need to look at things a little bit different. Haha! Yay! Is there anything down here?
I don't think so.
No. Woo! But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Alright.
I will say, if you would like, you can use that same bridge there.
To get to the chest?
Yes.
Let me get all up in that chest. Alright, come on, let's do this. Get a little bit closer. And hit B.
There you go.
Woo! I am Damasta. But see, I never had the chance to play Wind Waker. I never owned a system that it was available on.
And that's the thing, is like,
Amber is the color of your energy. Whoa. Continue.
I feel like that's a problem with a lot of the Zelda games. Is there are a lot of people out there that are like familiar with Zelda, but like they didn't own an N64 or a GameCube, or like they didn't own the beginnings of like the Zelda 3D kind of origins or whatever.
Yeah. Excuse me. What's going on up there?
It's trying to subtly hint at what you're supposed to do with this next puzzle.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, I can't just pull it down.
No.
I was just like, well, fuck that. I want to build it myself. And of course, like, and I mean that's a case for like any franchise that's been running long enough. Like, anytime I look at a franchise that's been running for fucking, how do I get it to rotate?
Go make it flat to where you're looking directly at it. Like, turn it, or that works too.
Fuck it, I'll get there in the end. Do I need the ball?
No, you just need
okay. That's just showing that one's like broken.
Well, it's showing that you can attach it to stuff because of the green goo in between the ball.
Okay,
and the...
I see. I am gonna continue talking. I'm going to do something stupid.
Okay. Oh.
Like, I don't have. Oh, that's gross. Oh, I can't pull it off the. Oh, I telling me okay. So I thought I could pull the whole thing off with the chain.
Oh, no.
And I was gonna attach them and like make it so that like the hooks were on either side and like make the chain be the part in the middle.
Oh, no, you can't.
Okay,
Do that.
that's my bad. Well, anyway. So grab and then right stick.
Or because the Pro controller has motion controls, if you just wiggle the control, it'll break.
Oh, okay. Alright, so. Okay, so it does it like in 90 degrees?
Yeah.
Away we go.
Whee!
And also, I think also a big. I don't think enough people enough. I don't like speaking that generalization because I'm not. I can't say that because I don't know enough people to say it.
Right.
But I don't. It takes someone with true, like real self-reflection and understanding of the human nature to be willing to write a story where you can sympathize with the villain.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where you can really understand where they're coming from, why they took the actions they took. And to me, I don't think I've ever seen or read a story where doing that hurt the story. Because, like, if I understand why someone's doing something and I can sympathize with them, it makes whatever interaction between the hero and the quote-unquote villain that much more intriguing, because you're actually seeing not just swords clash, but ideals.
Right, yeah. And it's kind of like it's never, I've never seen a thing where they make a sympathetic villain and I have the ability or I lose the ability to hate the villain, because I mean it's kind of like that Brooklyn Nine-Nine gag, cool motive, still murder.
Yeah,
like
love the reason you did it, you still committed a crime.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get it. And like and that's what I feel like it always makes a more compelling story. And it's also something that I've heard before, like the sign that someone has truly matured is the ability to hold two diametrically opposed ideas in your head at one time and it not fucking short circuit you.
Right.
Because that is me. Like, I am full constantly of constant diametrically opposed ideas that I know do not work in accordance with each other. But it's still part of who I am. Like, I want to tell my daughter to make friends, to get out there, and to, when she starts school, to talk to the other kids and, like, really try to socialize.
Right.
But the other part of me that has extreme social anxiety can't get onto a Discord server with people I don't know because I start to panic. Like,
and that's one of those things where I think it's like, I think there's merit to, like, that old saying, those who can't do teach.
Yeah. Because,
like, there is a world of gap between theory and action, but I think you can get most of the way there through theory. Like, granted, for a lot of things, like, it may be as easy as, like, I don't know what this thing does. Let's,
so I need to go visit more shrines. Okay.
Yes. And I will say this, while Breath of the Wild had a very open tutorial, this one does kind of, even though it doesn't push you in that direction, it does kind of have a set way it wants you to do things, or a set order that it wants you to do. Yeah, because it clearly,
like, now that I've discovered the ability to attach shit, it wants me to take the rails.
Okay. To go to the next one there, yeah.
Ha-ha! Oh, fuck it up. It's cool.
Sploosh.
Water just shot straight up my ass.
And everywhere else. But, we have actually been recording for a little over an hour now.
Oh, okay.
So, I think next time on A Link Between Nerds, we'll catch up right here or either at the next shrine, whichever you're comfortable with. And thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.
Love you, bye!
Bye!